Have you ever just wanted to make one cup of coffee? Well, this little known product from the 80s might help solve that. So let's take a look. Hi, I'm Sydney and welcome back to my Flock and Squawk, and today we are looking at something I found at the thrift store for $3 whole. This is a just one cup microwave coffee maker. I'm assuming from about the 80s, maybe the late 70s, just based on this beautiful brown packaging. Looking online, you can find a few eBay listings, but not lots about this specific thing. And there are a lot of products nowadays where you can make one cup of coffee, Keurig being the leader, I believe, in the industry still. So this definitely piqued my interest because it's a microwavable item. It doesn't really work like a French press. It doesn't really work like a mocha pot. It's sort of its own thing. I think a French press would be the closest comparison for this item. So you can see here on the box, and I'll give you a little close-up before we use it, but it is like, let me just show you the product. So we have a little spoon that helps you measure out your coffee. It's about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half at least from looking at it. And then we have this little carafe. It's, 1 cup size, and then it has this filter that clips in on top and you can fully disassemble for cleaning. When it was in the box, it was upside down, so it fits, a neater profile, fits a little bit better in your cupboard or storage. I'm assuming that people potentially traveled with this because you just need a microwave, water, and coffee. It doesn't require any electrical component other than just finding a microwave. So I can see how this might be nice in like an office setting or, just out and about, going to a hotel. Hotels don't always have coffee makers. At least I'm assuming they didn't always. A Keurig is pretty common nowadays, but microwaves are very common, at least today still. So it has the 2 components, the filter, the carafe, and then the coffee scoop. So at $3, it was hard to say no to, and even though I don't really have much information about the company, I'm really intrigued to try this product. So let's just take a quick peruse around the sides of the box and read kind of what there is to this. I will also insert into the video a copy of the instructions. Maybe I'll include it over on my website if you want to see a more detailed scan. Online, these are about $10 to $15 from the eBay listings that I've seen. So if you are interested in this product at all, eBay has you covered, although much more expensive than my $3. So let's just take a look. Coming around the side of the box, we have Welker, just one, the 1 cup microwave coffee maker. Real coffee, the easy way. Just heat and pour, no waiting. Does not use paper filters. Brews coffee directly in pot and filters it by screened lid. Also brews excellent loose leaf tea. Cup is dishwasher safe. For microwave heating only. And then on the other side of the box, it has 3 simple steps to a delicious cup of coffee. Pour 1 rounded tablespoon of regular grind coffee directly into cup. Add hot water to fill line. Push lid on securely. Microwave on high, almost to boiling temperature. Important note below. Tip slowly to pour coffee. And the important note is basically just telling you to start with 1 minute. Assess how your microwave does, and then continue on until it's the appropriate temperature. So let's make a cup of coffee. I guess first off, here is the coffee that Connor and I typically drink. Not changing anything up for it, just a singular one of its scoops. Everything has been washed beforehand. So 1 scoop into our carafe, just straight in. And the coffee that we have been currently drinking is just Folgers. So if you're interested, Connor and I like Folgers. So just our coffee grounds in here, and then there is a fill line. I don't know how well it'll show up on camera. I'll probably make a second cup using it just to showcase this better. Insert footage here. So next we just need to add water to the fill line. Okay, so I've added the water. It is room temperature, it's not hot water at all. And then we just tuck in our filter, which does come apart into 3 pieces. So we are just going to push it down until it is fully secured. And now here is our little craft. Let's take this over to the microwave. It's in the microwave. Woo! Cut to when it's ready. All right, so it just came out of the microwave. I ended up doing 2 minutes and it sat for a little bit, and I have this camera here to kind of capture pouring out the coffee. It says to hold the top while pouring, so we are just gonna pour it through the filter. So like I was saying earlier, I have the assumption that this will be similar-ish to French press. The only real difference is that 1, you're not pouring boiling water directly onto the grounds, and 2, this doesn't have like a plunger option to help, I don't know, extract the coffee from the grounds in any way. So I just poured it. It's pretty warm, but this handle, not hot at all. Very nice. So I'm just gonna set that there. And this is the cup of coffee that it has procured. It is 1 nice cup of coffee. It did fill it very well. I didn't check at all beforehand on how much it holds, but 1 nice cup of coffee. Smells like a lighter brew. So Connor and I, we use French press, we use mocha pot, and then we use percolator as our main coffee methods. We usually do a percolator when we want quite a bit of coffee, and depending on how long you let the percolator go, kind of varies the brew. So this kind of smells like when we don't let it go too long. We take it off the heat pretty soon after we see it bubbling over. But it doesn't smell bad at all. So I am going to doctor up this coffee, and by that I mean I'm just going to add some oat milk. I usually end up with like 1/4 cup. I kind of just eyeball it. So I'm going to add some oat milk, make it a little bit fairer of a comparison, because I personally like cream or something in my cup of coffee. So that's what I'm going to do. Then we will sort of review. As for the actual process of making a cup of coffee with this device, 10 out of 10. I am, like, there's not really much to say. Like, this truly does work. It isn't difficult. The pieces pop together nicely. The only thing is that the actual body of this container gets warm. But the handle being cool, very nice. The top, a little warm, but since you do touch it and it has this little knob to kind of grab on, very easy. When I washed it initially without any coffee grounds, just straight out of the box, very easy. I didn't have any issues with that. I guess I will see if that opinion changes. I can't imagine it changing very much by washing the grounds out. So far I'd say that this is a very nice product from the experience of using it. Very simple, very straightforward. I guess we can stop putting off drinking this coffee. My addition of choice at this moment is some oat milk. Kirkland Signature is what we usually keep because it's very affordable. So just a little splash in. I usually like to go until you just see it balloon back up. I'm gonna give it a little stir. There's sort of the coloring. Bon appetit. Yeah, it's definitely a lighter brew. Definitely getting that sort of French press mouthfeel, or just coffee mouthfeel in general. It's not bad at all. It is better than I anticipated because it actually is like a reasonable brew of coffee. It's not too overbrewed. I assume that if you let it sit, or if you like microwaved it for longer, that it might get like a deeper burnt flavor, but this is actually quite lovely, fully drinkable by my standards, and I would not be upset if someone served me a cup of coffee like this. Oh, so I just realized that this camera wasn't recording at all, so that's kind of a waste, but I just turned it on to film. You can kind of see here the color and quality of my coffee. So I've been sipping on it just a tiny bit. I haven't had that much, but at this time, I'm happy to say that this product fully satisfies my personal taste for coffee. I have, like, I don't know, I'm fine with a lower end coffee. I'm not too snobbish. There's definitely times where I have enjoyed way higher quality coffee, but as our like daily drinking coffee, Connor and I do Folgers. It's very affordable, and this is satisfactory to me. One of my favorite things that I didn't mention, really, except for going over the box, is that this does not require any additional filters. This is a full and complete product. You just supply the water, the coffee, and then use the microwave. That, to me, is fantastic. Keurigs have gotten a lot of criticism, especially by sort of starting an industry that didn't need more waste by creating more waste. The pods are just, single-use plastic is not great. A product like this satisfies me a lot in that there is less waste. Sure, this is a plastic product, but you can use it so many more times. It has survived since probably the 80s just fine. So that is one big plus side to a product like this. Sure, you have to clean it. It's a little more intensive than just popping out a little plastic cartridge. But how awesome that just a single cup of coffee can be made for me in 2 minutes in the microwave. So that is sort of where we're at this moment. I'll insert some final thoughts and a little more B-roll footage of this product in action. Probably make another cup so you can better see the process from like an overhead perspective. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you flock and squawk again with me sometime. Bye! Hey guys, so here's the footage of me making a second cup of coffee using this coffee maker. And while editing this video, I've realized that I kind of sound like I'm selling you a product. And in no way was I ever sponsored by this. Like I said, I got this at Goodwill. Nor am I really advocating you actively searching for a product like this. It's just nice to know that there is something that suits a very specific need of 1-cup coffee making without having to buy something new or contribute to the larger waste. By buying something off eBay or secondhand, you are making sure that less plastic and less waste is going out into the universe. Sure, you might have to deal with like shipping a product, but it is something that's already been made and its carbon destruction has already been out there for a while, especially something like this that's from presumably the 80s. So in some regards, it's not adding more waste by you purchasing something brand new off a shelf. It also it doesn't have the excess waste of repeat purchases. You can just buy a giant canister of coffee and have many 1 cups of coffee. It's not little prepackaged items. So like I said, I'm not trying to sell you on this particular product, even though it kind of sounds like it from this video. I'm just broadly talking about my experience of trying this out and also the personal belief I have in reducing your waste and secondhand market is awesome. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye!